Good morning, ladies and gents. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So before we, how do I say this? Before we get into, and I apologize if y'all hear a little noise and knocking in the background. They're working on the steps near my home here. So apologize if you hear any background noise. If you don't, great. First of all, welcome in, y'all, to an episode. I'm pretty excited today because this one's good. I'm gonna keep this one brief because this is a closed case conversation, if I might say it that way. And then to those who take this differently, so be it. We're gonna get into a little video here that's online. A little bit of buzz, not too much because again, many people really don't pay attention to this, unfortunately, and they should. So, we'll keep it brief. The Grammys. The Grammys, y'all. So the part of the game we're going to get into, which is most important, is Jay-Z's Dr. Dre Global Impact Award acceptance speech. Now we have spoken on the defenses that are in the mind. And it is unfortunate because they've been placed there by people's masters. Again, y'all have heard me use the word massa on the podcast here. I do it flippantly. It's a flippant term, same as all of the degradatory names that were given to the various cultures on these lands by their owners, right, over time. See, again, we're in Black History Month, y'all. I'm sorry. Maybe the Grammys shouldn't be in February because you open the door for this stuff, right? See, again, there's the other side of this. People try to keep escaping that which they should not. Should you? And we're just going to jump right in because, like I said, this is not going to take that long. We continue to avoid a thing we should not, to our own detriment. It is time to put away that which is the lack of recognition toward the other cultures of the planet. For a long time, we've just done this little silly looking. We look like the marionette puppets. You're on the strings. You're on the strings, and the puppet master got y'all dancing, man. Really do. They really do. It's time to cut the strings. See, this is why I enjoy free thinking. I believe it is necessary because people need to. There is a foundational thought, don't get me wrong, on belief, on health, on wealth, of all types, right? But there is a real thought here where a lot of that was tampered with to get people to think something is this, something is that, when in reality it's the opposite. And we're hurting ourselves by not paying attention to the switch up. That's why you hear me use the analogy of the ball in the cup in the carnival thing. Because it's necessary to pay attention to this stuff, guys, because again, if you set the precedent where you can screw with one group of people, you can do it to all of them. And that is the problem when we're talking about living down here on this in this world, on this planet, on these lands with balance and peace. Again, another one of the defenses come up in the mind. Well, life ain't fair. Again, we went through this topic. See, get back to the definitions of words and phrases, y'all, because that's what they're using to screw. That's one of the tools they are using to screw you with. Fair means, matter of fact, let's reiterate, right? Because we said that repetition is necessary for learning. So let's just reiterate, right? Because it's all right. The definition of fair is impartial and just without favoritism or discrimination. I see life, I know, because it hurts, right? You see the tsunami happen over in Asia, right? You see these tsunamis happen on these islands and stuff, or like the hurricanes that happen in Puerto Rico, right? Or even in the different coastlines of the U.S. and stuff. And all these guys, the stuff is happening all over the world. So before we blame God here, being like, oh, why you let these listen, the point is for us to band together and redo that thing. It is unfortunate the lives that's lost, guys. It's unfortunate the properties that is damaged. You don't go blaming God for that. This is the planet we live on. See, I think again, like we open up this, what we open up the show with, right? This inability for people to grasp what you gonna go through, man. You're gonna go through things, and it's okay. Not fair from the standpoint of why I gotta go through it, but fair from the standpoint that while you going through it, someone else is, and many other people that you don't know, because again, they've got you divided, y'all. You don't, so nobody knows about the stuff going on in Asia. Nobody knows about the stuff going on in Africa. You don't even know about it. For those of European descent, y'all don't even know about the stuff going, unless you pay attention, of course. You don't know about the stuff going on in Europe. Same stuff happening here. They make you think it's different so they can control and take from you. But the quicker you break yourself out of that, the faster you will be able to help life. This is a real thing, guys. This is a real thing. And then that's an adjective for the word fair. Adverb without cheating or trying to achieve unjust advantage. I'm not going to get into the words favoritism and unjust because this is just it's reiterating the same thought. Okay, people make life unfair. Life is not unfair. See, we've been saying it's the same thing. We're going to get into Valentine's Day here in a little bit, right? It's kind of smack dab in the middle of the week, so it's fair game for me. I could drop an episode before or after or on. This will be fun for me. I enjoy this, guys, because this is a chance to just to tell the truth. Again, different views. Here is one. Y'all accept it or reject it, like everybody else's. So we're gonna get into the video here of Mr. Sean Carter's award acceptance speech, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so here we go.
Thank you very much. It's a sippy cup for Blue. But Blue's grown up now. She doesn't take sippy cup, and she has her own Grammys. First of all, thanks to Dr. Dre. Said he's in the house. He's somewhere. Up there he is. Andre Young, thank you, sir. All the doors that you opened, showed us that we can be rock stars. Seeing you on the Rolling Stone. Obviously, there's Run DMC with the Leathers and the Aerosmith. But when you came out west, you took it to a whole new level. Put us on covers, Rolling Stone. Put us around the world. You and Snoop, all that y'all did, all the records y'all broke. So thank you for this. Honored to accept it. And thank you to the Black Music Collective for all the work that you guys do. Scholarships for young creatives. And hopefully, I'm adding to, what you guys are doing out here. Obviously, it's great to have an award for such an icon. How far we've come with Will Smith and them, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh.
Let's stop 2 seconds here just to, and then we're gonna let it roll here. It's a 3-minute clip, so it's not that one. All the people that he just mentioned there, right? So he talks about Dr. Dre. See, guys, if you want to do, you got to do a music history. See, again, history is history, y'all. This is the record of what humans have been doing, and in music is one of them. Now, again, when you get into different beliefs of the world, i.e., Christians. See again, I am Christian, so we're going to talk this from a certain point of view. But again, for all the different beliefs of the world of people who like different types of music. See, another one that kind of gets when you're talking about the Grammys, because it's only certain types. I mean, do we even know about Bollywood? See, this thing with music, if I could just drop this real quick in the mind here, we've become too territorial with music. Music does not know culture. Music don't. Now, what I mean by this, same thing with love, right? Does not know culture, does not know gender, right? The expression art, same thing with film, same thing with actual arts like paintings and stuff. Don't know no color. It don't know where you came from on the planet. It is an energy that flows through you of which you express. This is why when Christians get nuts on worship. And Lord, how many times I have watched the conversations about worship, guys. You know what? Here we go. Here's another one, man. I don't know what Bible verses y'all going to. I don't know. My Lord in heaven, help me say a thing today. The feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity. There you go, y'all. Art is the same thing put in humanity. See, this is the thing. Put in humanity is the ability for humans to reconnect with their creator. And in one of those forms is worship. Why do people have, it's got to be done this way, it can be only done that? But someone talking about denominations, y'all, we got to break down the divisions. You want this world to change, especially when you got these verses talking about who's the shine. I know it's not the Sunday message, but we're just going to drop it there anyway. You've got all this kind of stuff going on here. You want to be a guiding light, drop the divisions. But as long as you hold on to them, this is the merry-go-round. You're going to go around. That's just it, man. It's not. So you can think or feel on the inside that you're right. Again, right? And let's just drop this verse right into the thing here. Going back to that 1 Samuel 16 thing. Again, verse 7. The Lord said unto Samuel, look not unto his countenance or on the height of his stature. I was going to add in the Willie Lynch letter here because those were the distinctions that were made, guys. They picked the slaves based on how they looked, the different color shades they had in their skin colors. This is why people pay attention to skin color today. See, again, listen very closely to what I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't discount a person or how do I say this? That you don't count a person based on their skin tone, because you should. But the differentiations people have made, the garbage that people have put certain folks into certain boxes based on their skin shades is wrong. Everybody got a shot at the table. I don't even know how many different languages to say that. I know a little bit of Spanish, not that much. Not that much to say what I'm saying here. Everybody deserves a fair shot at the table because life is fair. People are not. Got to get that ingrained in your mind. See, again, it's about breaking away. That's why when they talk about separation, you got to come away. Be ye separate. You can be collectively separate. Lord, if folks could get a hold of that, man. You can be collectively separate. You can be over here doing your thing and still part of the human race. It hasn't changed. This is where Christians miss it, because the Catholic we can only hang out with the Catholics. We can't hang out with the Baptists. The Calvinists can only hang out with these. We can't hang out with the Reformists. Y'all believe in Jesus. What is wrong with you? I just gotta say it, man. What is wrong with y'all? Don't never see them. Or let me say it this way, just in the spirit of objectivity. You barely see them come together. That's a shame, y'all. Yet now we make fun of the world, as we say it. Yet they could come together and make a song back in the 80s talking about we are the world, y'all. We are in the. So here's a thought. Again, we talk about that back burner, right? Here's a thought for the simmer. In the world, not of the world. Just gonna leave that. See, you can be in a thing, yet it doesn't make who you are. You can participate. This is why you can love your enemies. Because you ain't sipping on the sauce they sipping on, but you can still do right toward folks while protecting yourself still. And the quicker we get on to that, the easier this will become. Right? So, the rest of that verse says, the height of his stature, because I have refused him. This is God talking now, right? Creator, creation, right? The one refusing folks who look on the countenance and refusing folks who look at how tall or the stature, right, is dealing with how you are. So fat, short, skinny, tall, some of the other words, thin, all that kind of stuff, right? So God's rejecting that kind of stuff, y'all. Go a little deeper. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., of whom we had an episode about, said it best. Look on the work being done by a person, not the outside features of a person. Don't care how big your nose is. Can you do this? What have you done toward this? How have you contributed with this? That's the only stuff what is the heart in which you are doing something? I could care less about the rest of it. See, so on the job site, because this is another place where this mess comes into play, unfortunately, because money is involved. See, in this verse here, it's dealing with who would be the best person to defend something. And you don't have to look very far to where all of that kind of conversation has come into, say, U.S. defense topics. You pick people that are willing to put their life on the line. It don't matter who the people are. you see, and you show your true colors in what you're doing. Hence why we have all this back and forth, why Jay-Z had to say what he had to say, which we'll finish it here in a second. Because I have refused him, for the Lord seeth not as he. Now they got man there, right? So as humans see. And again, we made in that likeness, right? We kind of talked about a lot of that with Genesis. We are made in the likeness of the deity of deities that sees past the superficial, because that's what it is. The petty, like we talked about last episode. Things that are of little importance, no importance, unimportant. Again, let's say it again, unimportant. If you're willing to smoke, I'm going to use some certain language here, y'all, to break it down. If you're willing to kill someone over something, now, kill is relative, right? Because you can kill a person's reputation by how you talk about them. Which is why what you say is important. This is why when they tell you about freedom of speech, what they really need to start talking about is responsibility with your freedom of speech. See, that's the part they miss. But then again, when you're trying to steal land from somebody, here you go. It's just freedom. I got freedoms. I got me freedoms. we don't care about the responsibility with them freedoms. I just got me freedom. So God's not judging as man judges. God's not seeing as man sees. So we need to start seeing the way the Creator sees. Okay, well, how, oh great Creator, do you see things? Okay, for humans, look on the outward appearance. Man, if folks could just soak their psyche in this, Jesus. But the Lord looks on the heart. Can you look past? I didn't say you don't see. See. I didn't say you don't consider. Right? I didn't say you don't. Hey, this person is clearly this color. See, this is when people talk this stuff about, like, I don't see color. What you mean you don't see color? You don't see color? I do. You will see colors. We see in colors, guys. Is the world black and white? No, it's not. The world ain't black and white. When they had black and white on the TV, the world wasn't black and white. It's just because they didn't know how to put color in the tube yet, or didn't want to. One of the two. Come on, guys. See, ladies and gentlemen, we have got to come up higher, especially if you're talking about change, especially if you're talking about looking at things in a different view. We see the world in color. We hear it in different sounds. They ain't homo sounds or hetero sounds. I can't. Did y'all know? Man, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it for Valentine's Day because that was gonna blow your mind. Lord, people got to come off the sexism thing. People got to come off the sexism thing because see, that's another one of those powers, guys. That's one of those abilities we've been given: sex. And because we haven't tapped into it properly, Lord, we ain't tapped into it properly because we still too concerned about who can have it and who can't. You don't have an idea, man. This God made this so good, so great. Humans dumb this down to a bomb. Are you kidding? Anyway, look to something deeper. So let's go back. Let's go back and just finish this thing. So again, a lot of brothers and sisters have paved the way. So when we're talking about hip hop now, again, hip hop's 50-year anniversary last year. It ain't going nowhere. It's just, again, recognition. We kind of just want to skirt past that because folks have a problem with black culture, what is so-called black culture. Because again, we don't know what they just put the title on the word black. We don't even know the different tribes of the people that was living on these lands or living in Africa because everybody was just black. Like the same thing with natives. You only got certain civilized, as they called it, or recognized cultures. You don't even have or tribes. You don't even have an idea of the different tribes. You only know the ones they put in front of your face. How horrible is that? Wow. Anyway, I digress. So let's go with let's keep going with the roll.
Prince winning their first Grammy in '89 and boycotting because it wasn't televised, and then went to like a hotel and watched the Grammys. I didn't even understand wasn't a great boycott.
We'll stop it right here for a second. I'm sorry, I gotta cut it up. I gotta cut and edit here as we go along. Okay. There's a word out there. We're gonna use certain language here today, guys. So just hold on because we got to use certain slang terms to get cooning, right? And you've already heard me talk about bought Negroes and house Negroes, right? It is unfortunate that Jay-Z had to talk about this idea of boycotting the Grammys, and it's happened in different times. See, that's why I tell y'all to go back into the 60s and 70s, because that was the last time people really fought back against this mess. And all of it wasn't violent. Go back and listen to some of the stuff from Malcolm X. Listen to some of the stuff from Martin Luther King Jr. Listen to some of the stuff from Carmichael Stokely. Stokely Carmichael. Read some of the excerpts from Marcus Garvey. We're just talking about studying another culture, guys. Because see, like everybody is all right with like Buddha, Gandhi, right? We paid attention to these things. Confucius. We paid it. Half these people. Look at the revolution of Nathaniel Turner, the slave revolution. Nathaniel Turner. Look what the slave owners did to the man. We know about Harriet Tubman's Underground Railroad, which in reality, the thought process of an Underground Railroad ain't went nowhere. And as long as you continue to have oppression, you will always have Underground Railroads. Just a side thought, guys. If you won't allow things to be done in a free space as this planet and universe reality has been made to be, you're going to constantly have these underground environments. So be it. Because this is how y'all want it to be, right? If you don't want to change, then this is what it is. Okay, so these guys paved the way for something when people looked at jazz as, going to use another word here, jackass music. Guys, that's what they called jazz music. Something you can look right up online. Broke my heart when I found out. See, I'm glad I get a chance to talk about music, man. I love music. I really do. I don't even, are there certain ones that we like? Yeah, guys, there's certain ones that we like and we dislike, but don't sit there and throw out the baby with the bathwater. Lord, you got these phrases around you, right? We talked about the one about cutting off your nose to spite your face. So what? Because you don't like hip hop and all this. Now, again, you want to talk about the content of the words. That's a different topic, because he goes on to mention something else here, which again, a beloved artist in hip hop. But when you glorify violence, there's a problem. And that glorification of violence was not done by choice always. It was done on purpose. Certain records, when I actually posted something up on my Facebook page about it. I think it was either Facebook or Instagram. video of hip hop artists talking about sitting down, doing the albums and doing the records, and not being allowed to say a thing. But they wanted them to say something else. Do not assume, guys. See, again, the same thing that you're going in your workplace, guys, is going up higher up the ladder. This is why I said pay attention to artists and stuff. Do not assume because they're making millions of dollars that the ills of life go away. Not always. They want you to think it does. I digress. So let's just continue.
But then, 98, I took a page out of their book. I was nominated for Best Rap Album, and DMX had dropped 2 albums that year. They both were #1. Shout out to DMX. And he wasn't nominated at all. So I boycotted, and I watched the Grammys. I'm just saying, we want y'all to get it right. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. We want y'all to get it right. At least get it close to right. And obviously it's subjective. Y'all don't gotta clap at everything. Obviously it's subjective because, you know, it's music and it's opinion based. But, you know, some things, you know, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work.
So who he is talking about right there is Miss Beyonce Knowles. Beyonce Knowles, and here we go. So it's for, as he said, for Album of the Year, of course, Miss Taylor Swift. This is something you can go right online, guys, and start putting some of the 2 and 2 together. Now, like I said about the migrant thing, which again, we'll just drop this note here. The mayor, there's a headline that reads, New York City is hopping with this thing. But then again, see, everywhere where they're dropping off the migrants, this is no different. So before we start making these distinctions like it's different, right? This is no different than the early 1900s or the 1800s with the land rush, or when Europe came calling back when they started in the 1400s. And clearly, if it started in the 1400s, they was doing the lookout before that, right? It is okay for somebody else to come on down and get the good stuff that's there, right? You got restaurants, everybody can come and eat, right? The problem is when you refuse other people to eat. Now, again, I reference the slave and black codes for this reason. When you can, and especially during segregation, them good old Jim Crow laws, when you can stop someone from eating in a restaurant with you, what is to stop you from stopping other people from in a restaurant eating with you? And now when you're talking from a business perspective, which profit in this reality is not solely one group of people. It's not just all the white people in the restaurant eating that gives the most profit. Jesus. The most profit is when you got everybody in the restaurant eating. And because of greed, you've done the backward. You're doing it backwards. The point is to have everybody in that restaurant eating as much as possible, guys. This is, and you have multiple businesses like this, all collectively. This is why, and to my black brothers and sisters, Jay-Z, that acceptance speech opened up a door, y'all. If we will just step through it. See, we ask for black entertainers sometimes to get involved, right? And of course, for the money that they may lose. Because see, again, you go throughout history, whenever these towns and societies were made and lawyers got together, or even with the Black Fives, which was a group of black people that made black basketball a thing. Something you can look right up on your phone. Shout out to Lids for making the hats. I will probably get me one here shortly because, guys, it's time to support that which needs support in order for life to continue. You cut out all the black folks, you got a problem, man. You cut out all the Asian people. You cut out all the women. You regulate all the children. That word, regulate, man. Restrict. Let me say it that way. You restrict all the children. You got a real bland life, man. You got a bland life you looking at. There is a reason God made all this variety. There's a reason you see all these nations, all these languages, there is in life, there is the variety of life, y'all. Life has variety. In New York City, the mayor, Eric Adams, black man, by the way. You know, can I say a thing? When you had blackface, see, one of the things, unfortunately, right, is we get into this topic of cultural appropriation. See, again, we come back to the idea of recognition. Proper recognition is not there because they still think we are monkeys in the cage, y'all. This is not for hate. This is for knowledge. Knowledge is power, y'all. It is. Don't let people tell you the other way around. You got to know something in order what to do, in order to have the ability, power, ability. See, knowledge is an ability. Told you about breaking down words and definitions and phrases and stuff. That's what power, ability is. You go look it up. $53 million in prepaid card program. And he's defending doing this. See, that's all right to do that for the immigrants. This is fine to do it for the immigrants. What about everybody else? But see, again, in y'all supporting, see, when I say y'all, I'm talking about those in your family, right? We talked about that Jerry Jones photo, right? Where he's sitting there. And now, again, he said he was just looking to speculate. He was just sitting there trying to see what's going on. Again, we're talking about those who participated in stopping one group of people and doing something. When you do that, you actually hurt yourself. Again, you finger pointing, and the other fingers are pointing back towards you. You put a problem on your hands, and now we're dealing with part of the aftermath of it. That's all, y'all. That's why I don't look at the natives and black people when you see them angry. What do you think they angry for? Come on now. Come on now. Hey, and to each their own, right? You can believe this thing as you want to believe it. Or really, in truth, as has been put in front of you to believe it, because most people haven't really pondered the situation, right? They're still going on autopilot in their mind, and that's all right. That's your choice to do. However, realize a bunch of it could be to your detriment, or a bunch of it could be to your benefit. So, again, we want to make all these programs for these immigrants. That's well and good, but what about everybody else? Yeah, what about everybody else? See, again, because now what are we doing in reverse? So we're going to support the immigrants, pushing everybody else out there. See, but again, that's what happened originally. You brought all the Europeans out to push all the blacks and the natives. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. When you talk about, well, I mentioned that verse about your sin will find you out. Here you go. Do not blame a Republican, a Democrat, any other party that they got out there still, or the president. This is on the people. This nation, the land, the government is tough. This is what I did on this election. That's why I did that election day episode, y'all, just to put the info out there. This thing is none of the things you think it is, because they are all using a hybrid of it. Nothing is original. So again, I present the thought. This is for the people. All people. Not the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence that was all one big coming out. You want to talk about homosexuals coming out? It was all one big coming out party for rich European men. I don't know how else of saying it, y'all. This is what it was for. That's all of this was for. And those of whom they brought in their little clique, which would include Spain, aka Latin people, which would include Asia, because they helped the gunpowder for the guns they were making back in the day. This is something y'all can look up, y'all. They provided the gun. China provided. Oh man, oh wow, the plot is right there in front, guys. It's time for us to step up to bring balance, and you don't have to be violent about it. But one thing you do where you start is you got to speak out about it. We got to pick up the mantle of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We got to pick up the mantle of folks like Malcolm X. We got to pick up the mantle of many people of different cultures who spoke out against tyranny at its highest, because that's all this is. Well, I guess maybe not tyranny, more like the improper, tyranny. I guess where kings and queens are misusing their power. So, there you go. Here's the next one.
Think about that. The most Grammys, never won album of the year. That doesn't work.
So, let's look up Beyonce's What is he talking about, right? What could he possibly be talking about? Because she is the most winningest Grammy winner. She is. But to never have had, and again, we all know about the You Belong With Me and the Single Ladies Put a Ring on It controversy, of which Kanye West, now again, this was 2009 when this happened. You want to tell me in a way in which it was done? Fine, we can have that conversation. That's the smoke screen, y'all. The real thing is to talk about the impropriety in the Grammys. Now, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that, right? Because again, let's see here. Did I pull that up? What the Grammys do? How they? Yeah. So, and this is a little silly. See, again, there's a lot of this double talk. There's a lot of this equivocal speech. The Grammy Award for Album of the Year is an award presented by the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences of the United States to quote. And the quote is coming from Overview. This was done in 2011. I'm looking up on Wikipedia. You just type in Grammy Award for Album of the Year, right? So this is an article they did inside of that called Overview. They're letting you know what they're doing, right? To quote, honor artistic achievement, technical proficiency, and overall excellence in the recording industry without regard to albums. So when y'all go to looking to find in like the stuff here, this is how you got to look at what they're doing without regard to album sales, chart positions. So they throw out the billboard, they throw out your money, they throw out your support, right? And this is coming from the National Academy Record. They vote, by the way. You don't vote. This is not like the People's Choice Awards or maybe I guess a little bit of the MTV thing or maybe the BET thing. This is you don't vote. Okay, this is solely them. This is similar to This isn't like the NBA All-Star game where you get to pick your, I like Dwight Howard, I like Michael Jordan, I like Scottie Pippen, I like Karl Malone. You don't vote. And this is them, right? Chart position or like what I was just talking about, critical reception. So if you got a group of people, and we talked about this with black hockey, black basketball. See, again, all of the sports. And this happens, we've seen this with Kanye West and Adidas. And I'll just leave that at that. Because he showed them that you're not going to put him in a box. For whatever y'all want to say about Kanye West, even I have my own critiques of Kanye West, especially on his thought process on slavery. Which again, it is what it is, to each their own, right? At the end of the day, you got to understand that you got to come out from a thing if it's not giving you the proper respect, y'all. So, and it would look really drastic. See, when we talk about the Negro Leagues, do y'all know what baseball and the Negro Leagues looked like back then? Now, again, this was by their own design. See, when you look at the Grammys for each one of these times that she's been snubbed, let me see if I can find them. Real quick. Yeah, here we go. So, album of the year, right? Most winningest, and you look up online at her. Matter of fact, how does it? What's the thing to look up? So, list of awards and nominations received by Beyonce. This is how you do it, right? And it's going to give you all the nominated ones, didn't win, all the different categories. Because again, this sister's got the spirit of influence on her. She's, this is a gift, man. Entertainment, bringing people together. I mean, this is whether you controversial, whatever you want to think. Okay, this is her gift, right? So here we go. Come down to 2010. Album of the year nominated. Now it won for best contemporary R&B album. This is 2010. Best R&B songs, single ladies put a ring on it, in the dance and right? Every men, women, everybody was doing it. Anybody sitting there fronting like they didn't do it, they just didn't like it. Okay, so they weren't doing it. But everybody else, everybody was doing this in clubs, in your house. It didn't matter when. We was all shaking our hands, wiggling our hips. I digress, right? So, and that's not to say other people weren't participating in other things. Here's what I'm saying about music is too territorial. So if we don't judge this way, right, then you need separate deals. So then y'all have one for this one, and y'all have one for that one, and this one, and we leave it at that. Or change around how they're doing it. Maybe they need to do it in a voting thing. Maybe they need to introduce people into this, and maybe some of this would change. I digress. Right? This is the part where we as people, right? Because again, this thing is about the people, us living, where we need to be more involved. Get more involved in your towns and governments. Get more involved. Get involved because it's for you. You want more money? It's time to start dealing in, getting involved in this government. No different than Martin Luther King Jr. marching for stuff for people when they shot him. This is where it's at, y'all. I don't know how else to say it. So, just for the sake, we're some little 40 minutes here. Just for the sake of time, I'm gonna let y'all know. You go through these are the things. Go through the different times that she was nominated for Album of the Year. Look who beat her out. Okay, and you tell me. Again, this is up to popular opinion. A lot of this is right. You tell me whether she wasn't snubbed or not. This is what Jay-Z is talking about. Now, I've gone through already and I've looked at them. A lot of weird people have won. I don't want to say weird. All right, let me digress. A lot of people who probably shouldn't have won in Album of the Year won. Let's see. Let's just do a couple of these just for fun. Just for the fun. We're going to take 2015, Beyonce. Now, let's see. She won Drunk in Love. Let's see. She won Surround Sound Album. We're going to do this one and go backwards. If y'all will bear with me here, we're just going to do this one and go backwards. So, let's see. No, wrong backwards. We said that was 2015, right? You scroll down now, the other one that I did here, and they've got links to it. This is the link that is Grammy Award for Album of the Year. So you can, and they give you the decades going from the 50s all the way down, right? The 2015's deals here. Let's see. So you had Morning Phase, Beyonce, Girl from Pharrell Williams. If I'm not mistaken, I think Girl had Hunter and a couple different. I could be wrong on that one, but you had Girl from Pharrell Williams. It's been a while since Pharrell Williams, has made albums. So, In the Lonely Hour from Sam Smith and Ed Sheeran's X. Now, for those who listen, and again, right, so some Christians front, they don't listen to this music. It is what it is, and they listen to it in the background. Some don't. That's fine. It's the same thing with Christmas. Certain Christians don't celebrate Christmas because they believe it's totally pagan. Just like it started way back when. Certain Christians do celebrate it because of the fact that it is honoring Jesus' birth. So again, to those who again, as you so choose, right? Do you know who won? Beck Morning Phase. Because they show you the nominations and all like that and all that kind of thing. That's who won. Ed Sheeran. Now X, if you re-listen to the album X, that was kind of his coming out a little bit in 2015, right? Ed Sheeran's a good artist. Irish, I believe. Shout out to the Irish. See, this is about recognition for everybody, guys. This is where the hate comes in. See, no, it's recognizing other groups properly the same way you do other ones. This is the point. So when you got redlining, which is another thing you can look up what redlining is, as far as where people could live in neighborhoods, right? This is to stop the exclusion. That's all. Just stop the exclusion. Break the pattern of the exclusion. And of course, Beyonce. We're not gonna go into all the songs and all that kind of thing because we know there was popularity, right? So that's that one. Let's see if we can find some other ones here. I'm gonna scroll through without doing it the opposite way around and just let's go through. I Am Sasha Fierce. So this is 2010. So you had Taylor Swift's Fearless. Dave Matthews Band, Big Whiskey, and looks like it's the Grux King. The End from the Black Eyed Peas. We don't know about that one, right? Because, you know, it's a shame the Black Eyed Peas didn't win this. Like, The End, there's a whole collaboration of a whole lot of stuff going on there. Lady Gaga's The Fame, and I Am Fierce from Beyonce. I'm just going to leave it up to y'all. We're just going to leave it up. That's 2010, okay? See, again, do you want to know why they made separate things? You want to know why the Negro Leagues are such a thing? Because you're eliminating certain people. You're excluding folks. So if you want to exclude them, then we're going to go on about our way and make our money. See, again, because this has to do with who's making money, who's making these, you get one of these Grammy things, you put that on your resume. Where you think you're going? You're going nothing but up, unless you screw it up for yourself. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, man. And it's honest. Okay, so 2017, you got Lemonade, and for whatever y'all want to say about that, that's Beyonce, Lemonade. 25 from Adele, Justin Bieber's Purpose, Sturgill Simpson's A Sailor's Guide to Earth, and Drake's Views. Who won? Adele. You know, I can understand the thought process that she'd lose a couple of these. I get that, right? You got the most winningest awards person and you lose a couple of these. Of course, that would make sense. You know, that's like, to use a sports thing, and I say this to any Red Sox fan, Mets fan, anybody who say anything about it. I'm a Yankees fan, right? So again, you got all these championships. You've been to all these postseasons. You've done all this success. You're going to lose. So when they talk about that thing with the Boston Red Sox finally coming back, no team would come back 3-0 down and all that kind of, that's just the law of averages at work, y'all. And that's one time. So, you know, while it is a serious accomplishment within itself, this is not going higher than you should, right? This is not thinking more highly than you should. I mean, congratulations to them. They earned it. They deserved it. And then we go on down through time and we get to, let's see, 2023. So, what we got here? Harry Styles, Harry's House, 30, Adele. Mary J. Blige's Good Morning Gorgeous, a deluxe edition in These Silent Days from Brandy Carlisle. Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. You know Kendrick Lamar wasn't winning that. The man speaks too consciously on his albums. Ain't nobody, nobody is gonna, it's not. While he's been very successful, there's certain of these things that's not gonna happen. Music of the Spears from Coldplay. Renaissance from Beyonce. And again, for some of y'all who are not familiar with these people, this is why I say, like I said this about the Wonka thing, go re-look at old films. Go listen to some of this older music, some of this newer music. How can you get a full view if you don't? Lizzo Special. Let's see, Bad Bunny's Un Verano Sin Ti, and ABBA's Voyage. Who won? Harry Styles' Harry's House. So this is just and we're not gonna go any further here because we kind of made our point. I'm gonna play out the rest of his video, and we're gonna end it on that, y'all. Because this is just a point, right? At this point, when you know you were being marginalized, and for everybody who has certain thoughts, so be it. You got to go out and make your own, and it's unfortunate, right? Because you lose part of a group of people who can help. This is why when you go to New York City and stuff like that, this is why you got Little Italy, you got Asian town, Chinatown, right, as they call it. You got all these places because, again, the only way you can survive is by having little hubs, or having hubs, I should say, not little, having things to give you profit so that you can then profit to the whole group, or at the very least continue to sustain your own self. It's just this is just for real. So again, integration is cool, but when it looks like this, when you're excluding the black folks from playing, it's time to go find your own, y'all. And this goes for women too. See again, like this goes for anybody who's been marginalized like that through life, man. This is why stop worrying about trying to always consistently be in the collective, and let's start. This is why those who have come up, you need more conversations like this. You need this more because people are being marginalized on a massive level, guys, and there's way too much resources and money and stuff down here. It just is. To be exclusive. I'm sorry. Go look at how many acres of and again, see, we know the defense is in the mind. But I'm just telling y'all, go look and see how many acres of land are on the planet. Workable land. Okay? There is no reason for what you're seeing other than people being greedy, manipulating this thing on a high level. So we're just going to play this out and we'll end there.
You know, some of you going to go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category. No, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
You know, it's funny. You can see Beyonce's reaction in the video. And this is YouTube, YouTube. Grammys put this up, by the way. YouTube, Jay-Z accepts Dr. Dre's award. That's what you can search on YouTube to see what video I'm playing here. Yeah, this is kind of comical. Again, you can see her reaction, like, okay, wait, maybe you went a little too far. But still, sometimes you gotta speak a thing. So it's no good anymore playing the status quo. Sometimes you need to speak a thing. So here we go.
But outside of that, we got to keep showing up. And forget the Grammys for a second, just in life. As my daughter sits and stares at me nervous as I am. Just in life, you got to keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Forget the Grammys. You got to keep showing up until they give you all those accolades you feel you deserve. Until they call you chairman. Until they call you a genius. Until they call you the greatest of all time. Feel me?
So I'm gonna end right there with what Mr. Carter just finished saying, because guys, that's the secret sauce, y'all. That's the secret sauce. You gotta keep showing up. Do you know why we love Dr. Martin Luther King so much? Why we love Jackie Robinson so much? Why we love Michael Jordan so much? Let me see who else. Why there is such respect for all the different black leaders during the black revolutions in the 60s and 70s. Why we have such respect for all the different little videos and excerpts and stuff you see in, like, Albert Einstein helping black folks and stuff. Do you know? Because the spirit of that which is you keep showing up. So you got the one thing that is wrong. You got the other. We're talking about balance now, y'all. You got the other part how do you balance a thing? You've got to stay dedicated to it. Anybody who is constantly trying to take and making rules and regulations to make sure that those who already have money keep getting more money and the other ones don't, and everybody playing these different games and stuff to protect yourself. Do you know how it works? You keep protecting yourself. You don't go and shy away from it. You march on into the battle. You sail on into the sea. You fly on into unsavory areas and skies. You don't let them talk you down and make you feel worse and make you feel less. When you start seeing that coming, guys, you know it's working. When you got no reaction and you part of the gang, you're not doing nothing. This is what I mean about yes men, y'all. When you part of the it gang, you ain't doing nothing. You're just part of a collective. You never find your true potential part of the collective. You got to come out. Jesus asked Peter to come out and walk on the water. Now, I know, because people's imaginations have gone by the wayside, unfortunately, it's hard to grasp some of these concepts. Come out and walk on the water, guys and gals. There's a thing there when we see women triumph because men have held them down so long. And I think I'll leave it there because it's a good segue into Valentine's Day, which will probably be, unless something else wacky happens in life, will probably be the next time y'all hear from me. So thank y'all for walking on this journey with me again. I reiterate it. I know the road is rough. I know some of the things that come out, what we talk about is tough. But again, the quicker we grasp a hold of it, the more successful and satisfying life is. Because you can lay your head on the pillow at night knowing with all the wrong, with all the evil, with all the deception, with all of the garbage around you, you stood up for something. And that stands through the annals of time itself. So, thank y'all very much for listening in, even with some possible background noise. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.